What's up, everybody, and welcome to the Dead Funny Podcast. Dylan is just being all sorts of rude and just interrupting this intro. Thank you so much for that. I'm your host, Chris. Join me today are my co-hosts, Bree and Dylan, and special guests, Mandi and Cody, here to hang out and kick it with some Dead Funny. They do YouTube, they do all kinds of stuff, and now they're here to bullshit with us on a podcast. It's pretty great. Whoop, whoop. So, before we got on camera, Dylan was telling us a story about how he ended up owning a peacock. And some people were very interested.
No, this is not a nickname. It's not a nickname for you. You know what?
Somehow he caught this majestic bird. And
No, it wasn't a story about how I caught it. We bought the damn peacock.
I mean, who do you buy a peacock from? Like, who?
Yeah, I feel like you're peacock store. Like, I feel like he just submitted to the black market. I don't even know. He bought this on the black
Birmingham,
market.
there was this dude. He had he sold like pigs, chickens, goats, peacocks, snakes.
I mean, there's no way that is legal. It's just not. I would love to just pull up somewhere and just like, I got some goats, I got some chickens, I got a fucking pen of like 50 peacocks over here. He's just been breeding them for years.
It's also quite a jump from pigs to goats to peacocks.
Well, exactly. I brought up a question that I have. Were they like raised as food, like goats and chickens and stuff, or are they decorative animals?
I don't think you can eat peacocks.
They're not endangered.
I mean, technically, he did raise them for food because it all depends on what the buyer who buys them wants to do with them. I mean,
eat a peacock?
Dylan thought it was a peacock, but really it was the code for feathers around someone's dick. It was an old man that's like, hey, come get this peacock.
Before we climb down this rabbit hole, however the fuck
Let me finish my...
in the backwoods of Alabama, how this happened. Tell me, how much did this cost to buy a peacock? Because I need to know.
I think my dad paid $250 for it.
That's
Why would you buy a peacock? I don't get it.
That's not even. I would have thought like $1,000 for a peacock.
We got a dog for like twice that.
Yeah, exactly.
You can get a chicken for like $10.
And it wasn't. No. Get this. The female peacock that we bought for Simon, cost $500 and something.
Did you name your peacock Simon? Is that what you're telling me?
No, my dad did. He named it. He said, "I bought it. I get the name." I was like,
Simon the peacock.
Good lord.
Yes, its name was Simon.
Okay. So continue.
Anyways, on to the story. I know officially what happens when a peacock gets in a fight with a horde of chickens.
Did the chickens win? Because it feels like the chickens should have won.
Oh, peacocks win.
The chickens lost. We lost. We had 25 chickens. By the time the fight was done, we had 3 left.
Oh my god!
They killed it? Like the peacocks killed the chickens?
The one peacock killed the chickens.
Were they hens or roosters?
I mean,
they were.
I don't want to promote
we had like 5 roosters and we lost like 2.
Jeez!
I don't want to promote like animal fighting rings, but goddamn, dude, would I put some money on that fucking peacock?
No, man, let me tell you.
He killed it, bro.
I raised chickens. They fight. It's scary.
I bet they go at
it. But see, here goes the size difference. The biggest rooster that we owned was stood about this tall.
Yeah.
This peacock stood about like fucking this tall.
Well, but that's all feathers, though, right?
With his head dead. No, that's all neck.
Gee. What, did he club him to death with his own head?
No, bro, he had that range, dude. He just stayed
I go back to my original story where he says that's all neck.
Oh my god.
I think Dylan's misremembering the story. Just saying.
There goes your title, Chris. That's all neck.
It's all neck.
I don't know if I could ever use a title from you. It'd get rejected from YouTube like instantly. So, good lord.
But no, it took a while. After that, it took us a while for us to get Simon used to roosters and chickens and stuff because he didn't like it.
Really? No
you
shit.
You can't bring me chickens around this peacock. You didn't stop buying chickens.
Dylan's logic was like sooner or later he'll get tired. Whenever he does, that's the chicken's opportunity to try to make
After
friends.
he makes a throne of skulls.
I am not going to step in the middle of a fight between 20-something freaking chickens and a damn peacock.
You're not going to step in the middle of a fight, but you're literally bringing them like a dinner bell. You're like, here you go. Let me just add more chickens. Go ahead, peacock. Go ahead.
No, we separated the peacock. We built a whole fence and separated the whole side of the pen to himself.
A fence cannot stop a peacock. He's full of rage.
Chris, how long have you known Dylan?
So that way he can be
what
around
age?
them. You get used to
I did not know Dylan whenever he owned peacocks. That's for sure. That was not a thing.
No.
That was not a thing.
Actually, you did. I just never told you about it because
you did not have peacocks where we lived. We lived in a fucking trailer park, okay? There was no peacock farm around your trailer. I would have fucking noticed that sooner or later. I've been like, oh wow, there's like fucking 20 goddamn peacocks sitting out here. On sale for $2.50 a piece. This is crazy.
So when you first got the peacock, did you guys just like throw it in the same pen as the chickens, or did it break out?
Well, no. It had its own separate pen. It's just we didn't think that it would be aggressive enough to fly over the opening.
Yeah.
So then we had to add a roof on it.
That makes sense.
Damn. That peacock, it wasn't that people were in his territory. It's that people were in his vicinity.
He was a straight up bully. He was just like...
He wasn't fucking around. Good Lord. I would love to see just like this. I mean, I would love to see it from the viewpoint of the chicken. Of just like hearing a noise, looking up, and just seeing this fucking peacock just flying over this wall. And landing down, just beating the shit out of everybody. Good Lord.
What do peacocks even eat? Like,
apparently chickens.
What do they eat?
Apparently chickens.
Well, chickens will eat anything, but yeah.
Oh my
peacocks,
God.
they eat seeds. They've been known to eat like small rodents. They're a meat eater.
It's like Dylan brought him like a bowl of
Really?
seeds, and the peacock was like, "Fuck this vegetarian shit."
I want that. Only that.
I'm going to fucking Chick-fil-A next door.
No.
Chick-fil-A. No, they're
Oh,
Dylan's
man.
chickens, so it's more like
But
KFC.
my story isn't over yet. Because
Oh, no.
Simon got into a fight with a lot of our farm animals. He even tried getting a fight with a damn cow.
I mean, what did you do to... I don't even want to know. This is Alabama. I don't want to know what happened to this peacock. Just sit the fuck up. Continue with your story.
We don't know either. It was just very angry at first. But it also got in a fight with my...
At first, you mean it was angry when other things were alive around it. After it killed everything, then it settled down. Okay. Gotcha.
It also tried to get in a fight with our 40-year-old goat.
Oh, that's sad. That's just
It lost.
mean-spirited.
The goat, Billy was his ass.
Is that how he died?
Yeah,
No,
the goat killed him.
Simon's still alive.
What?
Are you serious?
Let me phrase that. Technically, he's still alive because because
How can you say technically?
just wait because my dad's very weird about how if he like his dog Raven, he loved that dog.
Mm-hmm.
He got a new dog and renamed it Raven just so he can keep.
So you're telling me there's been like fucking 5 Simons?
Because they named it the same thing, it lives on, Dylan?
That's not how that works,
Yes,
by the way.
pretty much.
Like,
I
if
know.
you have a son and name him Dylan and then you die, you're just not going to go back to life as Dylan. Just so you know. I want to throw that out there in case you had any,
We
like,
just
grand
have a
fucking
big
plans.
thing. Big thing
Just so
that
you
flashes
know,
up that
I'm
goes
never having
Dylan
kids.
logic. Dylan.
No,
It
look,
just flashes.
I'm on
It's not
Dylan's
my
dad's.
logic.
No, I'm on your
Great.
dad's side. I couldn't tell the difference between 2 peacocks. If someone was like, "This is the peacock Simon," and then a year later they're like, "This is still the peacock Simon," I'm like, "Yep, it's Simon."
Simon had a child. It was a boy, so we named it Simon. Actually, Simon Jr. SJ.
Did you then kill
But-
Simon so he could take his place like Highlander?
No, he died. No, he just died. He just died. I don't know how he died. My dad didn't tell me. I was already living in Mobile permanently at this time. All I know is my sister calls me. He's like, "Hey, Simon's dead." I was like, "How?" She's like, "I don't know. Dad won't tell me." I was like, "Well, obviously he either died of old age or my dad ran him over with the truck by accident. So
that was the one fight that Simon picked that he just wasn't going to win.
I tried to fight a
come here,
truck.
tire, bring it, truck tire.
Well, at least he died the way he lived. Fighting larger things.
He started with the small shit, but he killed all that, so he just had to
Yeah, no kidding.
You
He
are
had
the
to
only
open the game, bro. He had to go
You're-
for that metal beast.
Good
person I
Lord.
know that's ever owned a peacock. Like,
Yeah.
I've never, ever in my life heard anyone mention a peacock as a pet.
3 peacocks. We own 3
Tell me
peacocks.
that they've seen a peacock besides at a zoo. Like,
And I thought
Actually,
I
no.
owned
I-
an exotic
I-
pet, but holy shit.
Actually,
I gotta
good
look
Lord,
up.
Chris.
Can you buy peacocks legally?
No.
Chris, believe it or not, this was after you'd already moved to
Texas?
Yeah,
Back
Texas.
to Texas?
But yeah, back to Texas. When I came back from my dad's house after that summer, about a month or so later, people actually like bought some peacocks like down the road, and they got out and they wound up being seen wandering around the fucking Lexus trailer park,
Good
like
Lord.
3 of them, 3 or 4 of them.
I,
I was
just,
like,
I had no idea this secret peacock ring existed fucking miles from my home. It's crazy.
well, no,
Not
they
that I
didn't
would have
own
bought
them.
one, but
They
that's
didn't own
crazy.
them. The owner said they had just bought them and they were still working on.
But
know,
where
cage
though,
and shit.
dude?
I don't
Like,
know.
that's where I come
know-
back
I know
to.
where you can get 'em in
Fuck.
Birmingham. I don't
I'm
know
literally
where
gonna
you
go
can
to
get
the
'em in
nearest pet
Mobile.
store tomorrow and just be like, what will it take for me to get a peacock? Like, how?
You just gotta find the place where you can buy chickens. I imagine they also could get you. They gotta know a peacock guy.
Or you just go on Craigslist.
I
Yeah.
guess.
Craigslist.
Brain's looking it up right now.
Peacock.
It's-
Is it legal to
it's
buy
not-
peacocks?
It's not saying it's illegal and all this. Like, this is okay. This is the
Of course
top
it's not-
one.
Why would it be illegal? They're just a bird. It's like owning a duck.
Yeah, like seriously, people still wild
Are
ducks
pe-
and bring them home.
the top things are peacocks friendly? Is it illegal to shoot a peacock? Is it legal to own a peacock in India?
In India.
Are peacocks aggressive?
Apparently, yes.
Yes,
They
we
can-
How do
found
you-
that out.
Because this is apparently a big question. How do you sell your extra peacocks?
That makes
Good
sense
Lord.
because you're gonna end up, if you let them lay eggs, then you're
Look
gonna
up
end
the
up.
address of that post. I guarantee you it's in Alabama. I guarantee it. Good Lord,
Probably
dude.
is.
That was actually when I bought my house. That was a disappointment. Kind of is that technically it's illegal for me to own poultry. Like I'm not supposed to own chickens,
Really?
but I could probably get away with like 4 chickens as long as my neighbors didn't sue me.
Well, if you want peacocks
Oh yeah, I do.
on Craigslist, we could go about an hour and a half up north.
Boom.
Oh
I
my
gotta do that right
god.
now.
There you
Good
go, go
Lord.
One of my
Little
neighbors
peacock.
would with it, and I think my other neighbor would probably try to sue me.
Look, see, get a peacock. That way, in case chickens do come around, you'll have your own personal defense against them. Because obviously,
That's
they hate
right.
people.
I'm guessing they don't like dogs either, though, and ours is scared of
Oh.
everything already.
Oh no!
No more corgi.
Simon and the dog get along. Mainly because the dogs just stay the fuck away from it. But
Smart dog.
Yeah, no kidding.
So I
Simon either-
only had 2 exotic pets. I guess I wasn't as straight and narrow as I let on.
no,
One.
Chris, you had 3. You remember that wild snake that crawled into your room that day?
Yeah, it wasn't my pet.
That wasn't a pet.
It
Did
crawled into the room and it died 5 minutes afterwards. After I
Did
found
you
it.
burn your whole house down when that
No,
happened?
No,
That's
I
the
would-
only way to
I
be
would
sure
tell y'all
that's
No, I
dead.
grabbed my scimitar and cut it into 8 pieces. That's what
Yeah,
happened.
I wouldn't have
made
gotten that
Imagine
close.
me. Imagine me sitting there on the mic listening to "Holy, what the fuck is that?" Shing, do, 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 do. Just fucking
So,
like, what the
in
fuck
Texas-
is going on over there?
In Texas, it's very normal to have an air conditioning unit in every single room in the house.
Yep.
And I got to a point where I was replacing my air conditioning unit, and I lived with my parents at the moment. And it was one of those older units that was already in there that had like the fucking duct tape all over the place in order to keep the bugs from getting in and all this other stuff. And I bought one that actually had like the shades that draw straight into the window, so I wouldn't have to worry about any of that. So it took some getting it apart, I'll say. After that happened, I was like, you know what? I'm just going to kind of like chill and relax and watch this comedy show that I was watching, and then I'll get up and I'll put the new AC in, and then we'll turn on the AC. So I'm sitting there relaxing, lights off in my room and everything. Well, I see this stick come flying through my window. Like it just looked like it just dropped straight in. And I was like, I looked, I didn't see anything, and I was like, hey, it's probably just pine straw or something because there's a lot of pine trees around the house. So I was like, whatever, pine straw. So continued watching what I'm watching. So then I finally get ready to put in the AC unit, get up, put in the AC unit, turn on, works fine, everything's great, cooling down the room super quick. So then my friends call, and they're like, hey, dude, let's jump on some Halo ODST. I'm like, all right, cool. So we're playing Halo ODST.
Yeah.
Now, I just moved in, so I haven't really necessarily unpacked. So I had a whole bunch of like clothes and garbage bags and stuff like this, like all to the side of my entertainment center. Like it was a typical like teenage boy's room. You walk in, there's the bed, all the clothes and everything were packed up still, and the only thing that was unpacked was the TV and the Xbox. Like that was all I needed. So I'm sitting there playing, and I look over to the left, and all of a sudden like I see something bob on the top of the trash bags, but I have the lights off, and I was like it just looked like a shape, and I was like, well, Texas is really big for wood roaches, and I had that window open for a long time, so maybe a wood roach got in because those things are huge. They're fucking huge.
Oh god, dude.
And I literally flip on the lights. Next thing I know, this fucking snake just comes flying at me from the fucking garbage bags. And I was staring at it, and I remembered, just like my grandma would tell me, black and yellow, kill a fellow. Red and black, friend of Jack. And I was like, all right, it's black and yellow. So I immediately jumped up on my bed real quick. I was like, fuck that nonsense. So it ran, or slithered, should I say, behind my posters that were just kind of like chilling up against the wall. And I was like, I don't want to damage my posters, but I don't want to die. The nearest thing to me was my Guitar Hero 2 guitar. So I grabbed that and fucking threw it, and was hoping like maybe I hit it, knock it out, something like that. I was fucking stupid, obviously. So I throw it, fucked up all my posters that were just sitting there. Every single one of them. The snake then goes underneath my entertainment center. I'm like, fuck, dude, there's like an inch worth of room. There's no way I'm getting this fucking snake out. So then I look over to my right, and I remembered that I had this fucking 4.5 foot scimitar just fucking chilling. And for those people who don't know, the scimitar has that nice fancy dip on the top, on the back. That's kind of like a little hook. So I kind of shoved that in there to kind of like hook him out.
Wait. So, like, this is not like this is like specifically the Lord of the Rings or Uruk-hai scimitar.
Pretty much, yes. Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah. So I'm like trying to get underneath there to get this fucking snake out. It comes running at me again, or slithering at me again. So I jump back up to get out of the way. No. So I jump back up, and then all of a sudden it goes straight for my door. There's easily enough room underneath my door for it to get out, and all I can think of is, fuck, it's going to go out there and bite somebody in my family. Like, my dad was in the living room, my mom's in the living room, little brother's in the living room, and I was like, fuck. So I grab my door, swing it open. Now, the best part is from where the couch is positioned, you can't see the lower half of my body, like from where the couch is positioned for them. And my dad's like half blind. So I slam this door open. Pretty sure I put a hole in the wall. And all they can see is the top half of my body. I'm not wearing a shirt. I was just wearing shorts. Not wearing a shirt. I come out holding this two-handed sword, and I'm just slamming it into the floor over and over and over again. And my dad is like, have you lost your fucking mind? I was like, there was a goddamn snake in my room. I was freaking out. My mom started freaking out. There's blood all over the fucking hallways where I chopped this thing into like 8 pieces. So finally, after we felt safe that the head was dead, because that shit could stay alive for a while, we kind of like used a stick, pushed it into like a fucking bag, and threw that shit in the dumpster, got it out of there. And the best part was,
say it was the non-poisonous snake?
Well, that's what I was getting to.
No.
So I remembered black and yellow kill a fellow, and it was black and yellow. What I didn't remember is that if the lines go long ways, it's venomous. If the lines go sideways, it's not. Or wait, I might have that wrong. It might be if they're...
Yeah, it's the other way.
Yeah, it's the other way. It is. If they're long ways, they're not venomous. If they're sideways, they are. And it was definitely... It was like a fucking gardener snake or some shit like that. It was like literally the most wimpiest snake in the fucking world. It literally would have barely done anything to me. And I was just like, God damn. It literally, like, whenever I typed it in, because, like, my dad was making fun of me about it. And then he told my grandparents. My grandpa was really giving me shit for it. And I was like, I'm going to prove you guys wrong. So I looked it up, and literally whenever I found it, I want to say it was like a band snake. I can't remember what the fucking name was for it. Anyways, when I looked it up, it literally, the first sentence was the world's most docile snake. And I was like, God damn. There's no talking my way out of this one. I'm just going to have to fucking take this L. That's for sure.
So first of all, if there had been a snake in my room, there would have been no thought of me rescuing my family. I would have jumped out the window, gotten gasoline, and burnt the house down with the family in it. I don't care. The snake must die. I am scared of 2 animals First one's whales. The second one's snakes.
Whales.
I hate whales
Whales.
because
Hold
they're big
on.
enough they could
Hold
kill me
on.
without meaning to. They are larger than me in a way that I find profoundly terrifying.
Whales, not elephants, not fucking
Elephants make
sharks,
sense. Sharks? Okay, if I saw a shark in the water,
giraffes.
I would be scared of a shark in the water because it's a shark and sharks are predatory animals that sometimes hurt people. Whales don't hurt people. It doesn't make any sense. The only time I've seen a snake that I remember, well, no, there was 2 times, and both times I responded the same
I
way.
love snakes.
I live in Indiana. There aren't poisonous snakes. There's one type of poisonous snake. I know what it looks like. I know its habitat, and it's never a snake that I've seen.
He's got all this memorized. He's got the stats.
I looked up a lot of stuff about whale and snake attacks. Turns out I'm more likely to get struck by lightning. Doesn't matter. Also, vending machines, very dangerous. Turns out
I
whale
like to
deaths
think that
don't
Cody
happen.
has like this fucking D-Day journal that he keeps like under his bed or something for when the snakes attack, but then he's got like the other half of the book is when whales take over the world.
So, I was riding a lawnmower that is made of spinning death blades. I was riding it. I saw a snake that was maybe a foot long and maybe as big around as a pencil. And I ran away. I was on a riding lawnmower. I didn't stop it. I didn't
that's
turn it
fucking
off.
target practice right there.
I just took off running into the middle of someone else's yard. It was like, it was not my house. It was someone I worked for. I saw a snake and I'm just like, no, run! Gotta get out of here! And I took off. Until I got really far away, and then I was like,
man.
what am I doing? I have to go, and I didn't want to go back. I didn't want to go back and finish mowing the lawn.
Good lord.
I just imagine the lawnmowers like continually running.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. I was gonna say it's like it just keeps going. It cuts up the dude's power cords. It cuts up the fucking water hose and shit.
There's a little
Scares
baby crawling in
everything
the
up.
grass.
I wasn't gonna say all that, but
It doesn't matter. I saw a snake, and the second time I was hiking, with Mandy.
Oh yeah.
College. They're both
Whoa.
from Texas.
You cut out a little bit.
Oh,
Last
sorry.
5 seconds.
I was hiking with Mandy and a friend from college. That was, Mandy and him are both from Texas, and we're just casually walking down the trail. And our friend's like, "Oh, hey, look, a snake!" And Mandy looks over and she's like, "Oh, hey, look, a snake!" And then they're like, hey,
I took
Cody,
a picture.
Hey, Cody, look, a snake! They turn around and I was just gone.
that's,
Like he
That's
said, "Hey, look, a
okay.
snake!" I saw a snake, and I'm just like,
that's
"Done. I'm
That's
getting
pretty
as far
good.
away from here as possible."
Oh.
And in
Try-
Texas, they're
Cody,
everywhere
I
though.
need
You
to-
can't run very far.
Oh
Cody,
yeah,
I
no.
need to take you. I need to take you to Birmingham and take you to the slab and just show you a water moccasin.
That's the one kind of
Yep,
snake that
you
might
find those
actually
in
be
Texas too.
Indiana.
Yep. Water
Yeah,
mouse.
Water moccasin
We used to play with them. They have this
are
thing where, like,
aggressive
if
and
you
they
grab
will-
them by their tail, they do this thing called the death spin, where they just spin their body around rapidly, trying to get up to where they can swing up to bite your fucking hand. Yeah, we used to literally just sit there, and as they would start swinging, we'd swing with them, like just our fucking hand, so that way they couldn't do the whole get up, and then you just fucking launch them, and they go fucking flying and be all disoriented and shit. Yeah, we used to do that all the time, water moccasins.
If you did that around me, I would just start slapping and screaming and peeing. It would be a mess.
Good lord.
We know what one of our goals is gonna be.
The funny,
Oh.
the funny part is like me. We are so different on a snake aspect. Like I don't like snakes. That I will throw that out there. If I'm face to face with a
I
snake, the
love
first thing is like,
snakes.
what can I do to make sure I don't get bit? Like that's my first thing. But as a kid, I was pretty stupid as well. I felt like I had a lot of shit to prove. So one of like everybody on the fucking Dead Funny's favorite stories about me is the goddamn black racer snake. We're walking down the road one day and we see this snake. And the black racer snakes are supposed to be fucking fast as shit. So we're walking down the road one day. Dylan knows what I'm talking about. You were there, weren't you?
Yes, I was.
Yeah. So we see the snake, and I was like, "Oh,
I've never
fast
seen
snake,
so
my
fast
ass."
before in my fucking life.
I was like, "Fast snake, my ass! You died by getting ran over by a car. What a wimp! It's just laying on the side of the road, right?" I was like, "I can't fucking believe it, dude. These snakes are supposed to be so fast." So I was like, "I don't know why I did it. I literally to this day, I don't know why I ever would have done something like this. But I decided." To get eye level with this snake. And when I say eye level, I legit mean lay down on the gravel.
Poisonous snake.
I don't know if it's poisonous or not, but it would have fucked me up.
no.
You said it was
I
poisonous.
decide I can't remember if it's poisonous or not. Black racer snake, you can look it up. Anyways, so I decided to lay down a high level with this fucking snake. to where its nose is like literally a couple inches away from mine. And I'm just like,
Oh my god.
what a bitch. Like, I'm talking shit to a dead snake, right? At any point, the snake
Chris,
could
you
have
were
bit my
really
face off.
hard, man.
I
You were
know,
a
man.
fucking
I was
kid.
a fucking thug. Anyways, so I'm
Yeah,
talking.
dead snake. What are you gonna do? Nothing.
So I'm talking so much shit to this dead snake. At any point, this thing could have bit my face off. One of my friends decided to scare me, so they grabbed
They're
a
not
stick.
venomous.
Okay, they're not venomous. So they grabbed a fucking stick and threw it over my head. And this snake jumped up, bit the stick, and then rolled down the ditch. I was silent
Oh my god.
for like half an hour afterwards, just contemplating on how I didn't just die. Like, it could have went for my eye. It could have went for. I mean, I'm
It
literally.
couldn't have died
Okay,
from a
also,
non-poisonous
guys.
snake. What
Well,
are you
I
talking
mean, it
about?
could have bit my eye or something. Fuck, could have fucked me
All
up.
right, so I'm gonna let you on.
Yes,
on a little
it's gonna bite your fucking eye. Out of
Black
all
snake-
the places it's
snake?
gonna bite. How
Hey,
many
guys, listen.
fucking stories have you heard of people getting bit in the eye? By
How
a
many
fucking
stories have
snake?
you heard of somebody being able to literally stick their tongue out and lick a fucking snake? Not many. Not many. Why? Because they're
Anyway,
all
I-
dead. Because they died. Because they got that close to a death machine.
I remember, guys. This I'll remember the length and the dynamic and the snake. All right, so black racer snakes don't
I
get very big.
didn't fucking understand a single word you just said. What? Come
Was
again?
that English?
Okay, black racer. I'm pretty much saying black racer snakes don't get very big.
Right. It was very skinny. They get long,
yeah,
but it was skinny.
a black racer snake gets about that wide. It's about as wide as one gets.
That's too big. That's too big. That's not. No, kill
I
that.
know that's too big.
What?
That's like I can't.
What are you doing? What are you doing?
Just play with it.
There you
I don't
go.
care. Kill it with fire. I think
No,
technically,
you don't kill it.
God,
Snakes
I don't
are
like
awesome.
snakes. No.
Oh, man.
But
They're mysterious. I don't like
and
them.
this snake did not look very long at first, but the moment it hopped up and grabbed that stick, this thing was like,
How exactly
even
does a
see.
snake hop?
we don't know.
I
What
don't
they
know.
did.
I don't know what happened.
Oh,
right?
don't
I
tell
was-
Cody. Don't let him know they can jump.
out of all the people who were in the circle, I was the only one eye level with the snake. So once it went above my head, I was in shock that had just happened. So I don't know how that happened. All I know is I remember
Okay.
hearing the stick coming over, and I thought it was going to hit me in the head. And then next thing I know, within a blink, this snake is literally in the air, biting the stick and rolling down the fucking hill. And I was like, all right, that happened. That was real.
But no, Cody finding out snakes can jump is like Brianna finding out cockroaches this big can fly.
That's not what I thought he was gonna say.
Yeah, you paused perfectly after the first part of that insect's name, for sure. Good
Oh.
Lord.
Like, what?
Anyway, so not as
Okay.
interesting. My two pets that I was talking about. One was a fucking sugar glider. Me and my friend were outside,
Oh,
and a cat had actually attacked the sugar glider and was trying to kill it, and we rescued the
I
sugar
want
glider.
it.
Yeah.
I remember you telling me this.
So
It's dead now. It's gone.
Oh.
no. According to Dylan's logic, as long as another sugar glider exists, that sugar glider never died. It's still alive somewhere.
Oh, it has to have the same name.
It has-
though.
We never
It has to
named
have
the
the
fucking
name.
thing. We had him for like 2 weeks, and then
Oh
my
damn,
friend's
that
mom.
dude's living forever. He is every sugar glider.
My friend's mom was all like, "You guys literally have no idea at this point what that sugar glider eats. It's going to die. We need to give it to someone who can take care of this fucking sugar glider."
They're like giving him cheese nips, fucking.
I can't remember what we were trying to feed him, but we
Tootsie
tried.
Roll.
We tried to feed him so much different stuff, and he just
No,
would not
back in
eat.
back in that day with Chris, it's Slim Jims. He feeds everything Slim Jims.
Some Jims are so
Even
good.
himself.
My
It
other
must
one,
Yeah.
have been Jim.
Eat a Slim Jim.
my other one's a tad bit more dangerous. And I had to look it up just to make sure exactly what kind it was. But I did not own it, but I lived with my cousins at the time who did. An actual timber wolf. An actual timber wolf. They only had it for about a solid month before someone called the
Wow.
law because it is 100% dangerous to be owning one of
Yeah,
those.
because it's a wolf.
Yeah. I can't remember
You should have
how
gotten
they got
the
it.
bear.
Yeah, right. I can't remember how they got it. Only thing that I ever remember, and this was one again here, dumbass Chris from his childhood. Only time I ever did anything with this wolf was probably the most dangerous thing I ever done because I'd never pet it. Like I was never around it or anything like that because I was just like, it's a fucking wolf, it'll probably kill me. what I've been known for my entire life is being extremely fast. Well, one day this wolf got loose, and the first person they yell at to chase after it was me, and I did. That was probably not smart. Thankfully, the thing did not jump back and try to bite me. I caught it. That definitely happened. I tackled it. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. I did not think about it after I was doing this. I was just after it. And when I grabbed it, I tackled it. It did not bite me or anything. It was completely chill.
Chris is actually a wild boy. We found him in the forest, and these stories are his real life experiences when he ran with the
I
wolves.
was raised by wolves.
Was this like a full-grown wolf?
He's
'Cause
alive.
It wasn't
huge.
full grown, but it was pretty big. I want to say it was up to my waist. It was pretty
Yeah,
big.
wolves
This is a
get
real life
big.
Mowgli.
Yeah, it was pretty big.
Ah.
Yeah, it was pretty
How do we
crazy.
even get a wolf in Texas anyway?
It wasn't Texas. This was in Alabama.
Still,
Timberwolves, oh,
I don't think that's much better.
I mean,
I thought wolves were just a northern thing
no.
in the cold.
once again, I have no idea how they got the wolf. Like, they did not have it for long. They did not buy it. Someone traveling gave it to them. It was someone, like, way off in the family
wolf!
that
You
I
want
never
it?
heard about. And I think they were only supposed to watch it for them for, like, a month or some shit. And then they were gonna
Well, they
come
did
back
a
and
really
pick it up.
bad job watching it.
Oh, yeah.
Apparently,
They got
it
loose
taken
and then they
away.
got taken away. That definitely happened.
In a month, within a month.
Damn.
I didn't really own weird animals. Like, we had chickens and that's it. But my neighbors had pigs, and like they had like 4-H pigs, so they weren't like pig farmers. They just hobbied at having pigs.
That
and
sounds
I-
terrible, but go ahead.
It is.
Ah,
But I got to help them one time weigh their pigs. Which, if you've ever seen if you've ever gone to a fair and seen pig wrestling, that's pig wrestling. It's horrible. Pigs are very heavy.
Weighing a
And-
pig is so ridiculously annoying and hard.
It is.
The bigger they are, the harder it is to get them to like calm
They're
down.
fast. They are so
and you gotta
fast.
catch 'em.
They're
and-
low to the ground. They go for your knees.
And if a
Do they
pig's
bite?
big enough, and-
They can.
and-
Yeah, they're actually really dangerous.
Yeah, they are.
A
I was about to
pig-
say, anybody that owns pigs is a psychopath. That's all there is to that.
Yeah, because you can literally take a body, throw it in a pig pen, and
And
within
it's gone.
within a
It's all
couple,
gone.
and within a couple of days, the pigs eat the entire thing, bones, guts, everything.
Yeah, gone. Done.
I think it's really questionable that you went there. Like,
What?
I mean, I
you
literally
could've
just said
said
anybody that owns
you
it is a
could throw-
psychopath. He's playing off of
throw
that.
like a dead body. He could have said you could throw like or a dog. He's just like, yeah, I know you can throw a dead body in there and it would be gone in like 5 seconds. Like you're
I
covered.
We're
I
talking to
would
someone
rather
who
throw- I-
owned a murderous peacock. Okay. I don't know what else to tell you.
Bree, I'm sorry to say this, but I'd rather throw a human being to pigs than a dog. Don't throwing a dog to pigs.
And are we cutting that one out?
So I don't know who's gonna try
Is
to
that a
take us down
confession?
first. Is it gonna be PETA or is it just gonna be Alabama law enforcement?
Cops?
I'm not sure.
Well,
Ugh.
I don't live in Alabama no more, so
Well, still doesn't matter. They hit me up. I'm like, sorry, bro, out of your jurisdiction.
Well, none of us
Oh,
own
man.
pigs now. It's fine, you know. They're
Yeah,
just
dude,
they're just
statute of
stronger. I
limitations.
thought they were gonna be like fat and slow like a cow, and they're just not. They're super fast. They're solid muscle, and they will knock you over if you try to stand in front of them.
Wait, solid
yeah.
muscle? Are you sure about that part?
Yes, I know it doesn't seem like they would be, but I mean, it's weird to say slap a pig sometime because when are you ever gonna do that? But if you ever get the opportunity to just like squeeze a pig, it's like rock.
Squeeze a
They are
pig.
strong.
Well, if we're gonna be honest, like if Dylan ever sees me in person again, definitely will have the opportunity to slap a pig. Just saying.
Damn, that was rough. But would you squeeze
Wow.
I'm gonna assume it's because Dylan travels everywhere. Pig. Do you have a teacup pig?
Dylan's just like slowly coming back with a comeback. He's like,
I got a pig.
Oh, look at how cute he is. He's got a little cone of silence.
The best part is that literally it looks like Dylan's holding up like a gray blob because it's green, and he's chroma keyed for the green screen that is behind him. So that did not work as well as you thought it did, Dylan.
Well, Dylan, to me it looked great.
So, from what I know about Bree, I think all she's ever had. You only ever had cats, right?
no.
She's the crazy cat lady.
We had
Anyways.
We had cats, we had hamsters and fish, and I will tell you what won out of most of that was our cats. Because our fish did not live very long. And I was surprised because there's a lid on the fish tank and I don't know how they died. But they just disappeared in my fucking room.
Cat.
Yeah. A lid on the thing.
Yeah, no, I mean, I had fish get attacked by... I lived in a house by a cat. And she would try to break into my room because I had fish at the time. And I caught her in the room one time. She had knocked the lid off, like not all the way on the floor, just knocked it crooked. I walked in the room and she's just sloshing the water out with her paw, trying to get at my stupid fish. She tried to open my door. This cat tried to open my window when it was closed. She was a nightmare.
Yeah. I mean, personally, my cats have always been pretty, not nasty, mean cats, but when it comes to hunting stuff, that they don't care. We lost our first hamster. They knocked over the cage and they ate that hamster, and I did not catch it. I was like, I really like dwarf hamsters though, so I'm really gonna try this. So we velcroed this shit down to the fucking cabinet. It was velcroed, duct taped, everything as much as we could just to make sure that they could not knock it over because we wanted a hamster. I am sitting in the living room and all of a sudden I hear crash, bang. Literally, I run instantly into there. They pulled the shelf off. In 5 seconds, pulled the shelf off, opened the cage door. The hamster was not in there, under the bed, half eaten.
Oh my god.
5 seconds. I'm like, what the fuck? I was like, how?
Cats are evil.
I ran in there right away. Best part was that the runt fucking was the one eating it. The rest were just watching. I was like, how did that fucking
That's
work?
terrifying.
That was initiation into the cat gang.
I've always had bad experiences with hamsters. My very first hamster we got was a dwarf hamster, and her name
so
was
cute, by the way.
Dixie. And she gave birth to 6 hamsters.
Oh my gosh.
And obviously, as a kid, I was super fucking excited, but I was told you can't go near them. If you do, they'll get your scent. She'll not want to, feed them or something like that, or possibly even eat them. I stayed away from those hamsters 24/7. I wouldn't even touch Dixie. I was just like, until the hamsters are kind of have their own fur and can move around and do their own thing, you can't go near them. And I was like, okay. And then I went to school the next day, came back, she ate every single one of them.
Oh my gosh.
Every single one. And I was just like, and then it was like that right there was like her letting the hamster demon out. Because after that, she was a fucking nightmare. She would fucking make noises as far as like screeches and shit all throughout the night. Most of the nights, she constantly would throw herself up against the fucking goddamn cage all the time, looking like she was trying to fucking hurl herself off. You pull her out of the cage.
She went literally psycho.
Yeah,
that's what it sounds like.
You would pull her out of the cage. She'd instantly bite you as soon as you stuck your hand in there and shit like that, try to attack you. It got to the point where we're like, okay, we have to get rid of this hamster. So.
Oh my gosh, that's crazy.
Yeah, that was my first experience with a hamster. Then my second experience with a hamster, it had that disease where they ended up shitting out their own intestines. It's just a disease that hamsters can get.
Whoa.
Yeah, it was.
My first hamster had that.
Yeah, it was.
A horrible disease.
Horrifying thing
out of all the things you could experience, it's the last thing you want.
And as a kid, having my dad had to explain to me what happened to my hamster, that was terrifying. Absolutely terrifying. It took a while for me to come to him and be like, I'm scared that's gonna happen to me, and then him be like, that's only a disease that they can get. You're fine. I was like, what if one day I gotta use the restroom? Next thing I know, my fucking insides are in the goddamn toilet. What am I supposed to do then, Dad? Anyways, and then.
Well, you're not a hamster, so.
True, exactly.
I mean, the disease is hamster specific, but humans can experience their intestines coming out.
Oh God! I don't even want to think about
something.
Yeah, I don't need to know.
I'm pretty sure.
I don't need to know all this.
No,
Anyway.
don't look
to a guy you're talking to a guy who's scared of whales.
Well, yeah, it's because whales are scary, man.
Don't tell him that his intestines can
whales
come out without any external force, like a knife or anything, having to do it. Don't tell him that.
I need to know though,
take a
is
shit
it
again.
killer whales or is it all whales?
Well,
Even the
okay,
big,
so here's the
friendly
deal.
ones?
technically the most dangerous whales are killer whales. Like, there's actually a tiny chance of a killer whale hurting you, but not really. Like,
Only if you're at SeaWorld.
Well, yeah. It's like the only way for a whale to kill you is if you're actively trying to kill the whale, and then maybe it'll defend itself, but probably not. It's why whaling was popular. So I did a bunch of research on this. Turns out whales that I find the most scary are, like white whales and sperm whales.
I don't know why
right?
you're asking me.
Well,
You're
those
the
are
one
the
who's done the
biggest-
research.
Sperm whales look like a leviathan, and white whales are enormous, right? Do you know how many sperm whale deaths there have been in the last 10 years?
1.
None. 0 sperm whale deaths. As soon as whaling stopped, no one gets killed by sperm whales because they don't eat people. And even if a whale tried to eat you, it can't open its mouth far enough to even eat a person.
Okay, but you're not answering the question. Why then are you scared of them?
Okay, so here's the thing. I just have this image of me swimming in the ocean. I am not really worried about open water, right? Like, swimming in the ocean doesn't bother me. I'm not, worried about sharks. I got bit by a crab one time, and I ran away. That was scary, but I still kept swimming.
I like how every story ends with you running away. It's just and I ran away. I went into the grocery store. I went to buy groceries. I swiped my card. She said card declined. I ran away.
He's like Forrest Gump over here.
Chopping up snakes, tackling a goddamn timber wolf.
You saw a snake and ran away.
I saw a snake and ran away. Yeah,
Burying a fucking snake dead in the face. My stories involve my animals killing each other.
I run away from animals. But okay, so you're out in the open, right? You're out in the ocean, you're having a great time. And then all of a sudden you look down and realize the bottom of the ocean is not in fact the bottom of the ocean, but just the massive body of a whale. And then it lazily reaches its tail up and just swats you down to the depths. Because it's so much huger than you, it could kill you like you're an ant. I find that terrifying.
So much huger. I find the way you worded that terrifying. It's so much huger than you.
I'm just saying, it's like running into Cthulhu. I don't think Cthulhu's gonna try to kill me, but Cthulhu could kill me just because he's near me. I don't like that. That freaks me out.
I don't know what size of Cthulhu you've ran into in any kind of video game, but he's
I repeat again, though.
Cthulhu is enormous. They killed him with a boat. They impaled him with a boat. He's boat-sized.
Yeah, but elephants can do the same thing. There's a lot of things that are bigger than you.
But I can see their feet, so I'm way more comfortable with it.
You're in your element. Is that what you're telling me?
What I'm saying is if an elephant was running, I would get out of the way. A whale would kill me without me noticing. They're like a mountain that swims in the ocean. I don't like that.
Sharks can kill you without you noticing too.
No. Yeah, but a shark is obviously if I saw a shark, I'm not gonna run it, right? I would go away from the shark. But there are a lot of shark attacks, so I'm not that worried about sharks.
You know what I mean? He's not gonna run away from a shark.
It cut out.
But you
were the only person having this issue. I heard him fine. He said he's not going to run towards the shark.
It's all right, if you were out in the ocean and you saw a shark way and probably be right, that's the natural response. But when I'm in the ocean and I don't see anything, I'm not thinking about sharks, I'm thinking about whales. Because I don't like them.
I mean,
sharks are designed to kill me. I can understand that. I'm prey to them. Whales don't kill me out of malicious intent. They kill me because I don't matter to them.
Did you ever go to SeaWorld as a kid?
No.
Is this some really deep childhood trauma that we're
It was one of the things where it's he was just looking at the whale exhibit where they got the glass and just slapped his tail against the glass. And that moment he knew that one false move and he was dead, and that was it. For the rest of his life,
I'm just not about him.
He started writing that fucking "If Whales Take Over the World" book that day. He went home and wrote chapter 1. If they get smart enough to make mechanical legs and learn to breathe oxygen, we are fucked.
We can make that one of our goals one day to get 1,000 Patreons, and then Cody will face his fears and go to SeaWorld.
Yeah, doubt it.
I mean, the last time I tried to face my fears, I ran away from snake, so I'd probably just run away and then run away more.
And the whale's just sitting there in the water, like,
I'm a whale. That freaks me out. I didn't care that I was running away.
I like how the fact that the whale just exists. Like, that's all it's doing.
It's
just
the
existing.
indifference of it.
And that's enough
of a
for
creature.
Cody to lose his shit. It's just like,
No.
because Mandy literally was like, the whale's just gonna sit there and be like, oh, I'm a whale. And he's all like, but that bothers me.
It does.
Fuck you for being a
Oh
whale.
my God. I love it. I honestly love it. Like,
Ugh, no, I ain't about whales.
I hate sharks. I just hate them. And your fears over the whales. I don't. The whales
That's
are
what I
so
was
nice.
gonna say. I like the
Adorable.
I like the thought of going to the beach and hearing the mom yelling at the kids like, "Don't go out too far. There's sharks." And then hearing Cody in the background go, "And whales."
I'm just saying, like, you know when you see beached whales? That freaks me out. It's like, those are too big and they don't belong here. It really weirds me out. I don't like it.
I just see a dead whale on the beach and Cody running up going, "You don't belong here."
I wouldn't get anywhere near it. I would leave. I would leave forever.
Hey, Cody, do you use cologne or
shit.
perfume?
Wait, sorry,
Do
say that
you
again?
use cologne or perfume?
Use cologne or perfume. What?
Are you asking about what's it called, like the whale gristle that's in perfume?
Oh
I'm
man.
about to say, are you scared of those too? It has whale in it.
Oh,
No,
man.
I'm not. I'm just scared of whales.
no, the whale doesn't exist
Yeah, it
then.
doesn't exist.
It's in the perfume.
It's already
Yeah, but a
dead.
whale doesn't exist when it's dead either. If we're gonna
Oh,
use
man.
it that way.
Yeah,
Well,
but
I guess
see,
it's been
the-
broken down by
the
that
mass,
point.
though, the body mass is still there. That's big enough. Cody, I just think that'd be great, like a fucking dead funny trip. Or somebody pulls to a beach and Cody's like, "We can never come here again." The beach, well, like that is the last time I'll go to Gulf Shores. I'm done, over with, never going again. Good
No,
lord.
I can see us taking Cody to Go Shores with us and going up under the or not going, yeah, and then going to where all the jellyfish are and just telling them jump in, have
Oh,
fun.
man.
Well, see, like, I'd be fine with touching a jellyfish. Like,
You would?
I know that they're sting you, right?
Just
So you
to
have
care about anything that can kill him. It's just things that
Yeah.
can't kill him.
Well, and that's the thing about both of, like, here's the thing about snake bites in America. I've looked it up. If you live in a place with poisonous snakes,
He's done all
your
his research.
hospital has anti-venom for that poisonous snake. I guess it's a venomous snake, technically.
Well, it's a matter
There
of
is
if
not
you
a
get
single
there.
snake in America that could kill me before I get to a hospital. Snake bite deaths are so rare in the United States because you have to be, like, way in the middle of nowhere for the snake bite to be able to kill you before you could be rushed to a hospital. Sometimes people lose limbs or fingers, but it's really uncommon. I was serious when I said more people are killed by vending machine. Because they
I mean,
tip over on people. But I'm not scared of
all
vending
you-
machines.
All you gotta do is when you encounter a venomous snake out in the wilderness and nothing to help you with, is just embody the mindset of Chuck Norris, and it
No.
will run away.
So, so let me
Yeah.
get this straight. Vending machines, high kill rate. Not
Yeah.
scared. Snake, somewhat of a kill rate. Very low, very rare. Still
In
scared.
America,
Or
it's
not, but
really low.
somewhat scared. Whales. 0%
0% kills
kill
for
rate.
sperm whales.
Terrified. Fucking terrified.
Yeah, the only dangerous whale is kind of a killer whale, and they're not. So
That's
it's like
like-
doesn't even count.
That's like me
Cody,
walking up to a lion and being like, "Here, kitty, kitty," but then seeing an actual kitty cat and be like, "Get that fucking thing away from me." It exists, and I'm upset, and I run. I just run away. I pull a coat
I
and I'm out the
can't
door.
understand kind of the
I'm gonna
fear of
find a
like
movie.
getting squished.
I mean, I guess.
I'm gonna find a movie. I'm gonna find a movie on Craigslist or Amazon that is
On
based around
Craigslist?
killing
What,
whales.
what the fuck?
No, there is.
Okay, here's
That
the
are
thing.
based
Killer
around
whale horror movie.
No,
It
no, no,
exists.
it's not-
that are based
Meg-
around a whale horror movie, and I'm gonna mail it to you, and I want you to watch it.
Okay, first of all, the movie The Meg is kind of close. It's about a megalodon. Still counts as a sea monster. I don't like it. Second of all, there is a killer whale movie about a killer whale killing people in the ocean. It stars the guy that played the first Albus Dumbledore when he was like 25 years old. It's called, I think, Killer Whale. It's amazing. He plays a drunk dock worker. It's an incredible movie.
You didn't like Free Willy, did you?
I never saw Free Willy, and I'm never going to
It's
see
because
Free
he
Willy
picked up the
because
case and the fucking well was on the cover. He's like, fuck. He literally dropped the movie and ran out of Walmart. He was stopped.
You're okay watching the horror movie with the killer whale that kills one,
yeah,
but
they're
you don't
trying
want to see
kill
Free
that
Willy?
whale.
The one where the well makes friends with the kid and shows that he's
whale's
not dangerous.
Okay, real quick though, I just want to say my favorite scene from that killer whale movie where there's a killer whale that kills people. It blows up a dock. Now, you
The
might
whale
be thinking
does?
to yourself, how does a whale blow up a dock? Right. How does a whale blow up a dock? It turns out what it does is it swims into gas tanks and then they explode.
That's terrible. That's terrible. You guys are all terrible. Good Lord. Well, anyways, we're going to go ahead and wrap it up. You got to hear some crazy animal stories going on here. Woot woot. But we're going to go ahead and wrap it up here. So if you enjoyed this content, please make sure you like and subscribe. Also, make sure you turn on those notifications. That way you get notified every time we upload a new video. Also, make sure to hit us up in the comment section below and let us know whether or not you liked any of the stories, or I think all of our audio has went out for Cody and Mandi, so they're just kind of like, what are they talking about? Anyways, Bree, if you want to send them a message in Slack so that way they know. Anyways, also in the comment section, Cody and Mandi, they can't hear us.
No, we can hear you now.
Okay,
I couldn't hear anything before.
Oh, okay. Anyways, I was just doing the outro. Anyways, hit us up in the comment section below and let us know your thoughts on Cody's irrational fear of whales and the fact that Dylan owned a peacock, because I still find that crazy fucking impressive. The fact that the peacock literally murdered everything on the farm is even more impressive, honestly.
You should introduce peacocks to whales. It would be perfect.
Who would win?
God.
Dun dun dun.
Ultimate fight. The
That-
ultimate fight.
You know, my bet's on the peacock.
Apparently, well, I would like to say as long as it's fucking Simon, but God knows what level of reincarnation we're at with that fucking peacock. So I don't know if it's like Simon the 23rd or anything at this point. So good
Well, the
Lord.
last Simon I know of was nice. So
Well, then he's not the real Simon, Dylan. He's just not the real Simon. Anyways, also make sure you hit us up on those Twitters if you want to talk to us directly, or hit us up on Twitch if you want to hang out and watch us play some video games. But at the end of all this, I hope you guys have a great rest of your week, and we will see you next time.